step until the light, oh, one more step until the sight of you. I'd do anything for you. 2 more years and then I'm free. Oh, 2 more years till my reality with you. I'd do anything for you. I know I write too many songs about you day and night. It's getting way too hard for this light to become a sight. I think about you when I'm dazing off to go to sleep to you. Dear, for you. I'd do anything for you. 3 more times I say to myself, each time it gets longer, it's all by itself. For you, I'd do anything for you. 4 more times I call it quits, but without one thing it's an apocalypse. That's you. I'd do anything for you. I know I write too many songs about you day and night. It's getting way too hard for this light to become a sight. I think about you when I'm dazing off to go to sleep to you. Dear, for you. I'd do anything for you. I'd do anything for you. I'd do anything for you. For you. I'd do anything for you. I'd do anything for you.
Okay, Phoenix Broderick, thank you so much for coming back to Monday Sounds.
Thank you for having me.
I think I've got you back in because obviously the first time we sat down, it was all about I had heard your first single.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get you in the studio for a little performance and a little chat about that and songwriting. But now your debut album is out on April 1st.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be great to have you back in, and we'll just basically talk exclusively about the album, and we'll go through the tracks. And I kind of want to hear the story behind some of the tracks in particular.
Yeah, 100%.
Because what I noticed when I was listening through it, like in chronological order, is there is a story to the whole album, and especially in the tracks, very kind of like coming of age story, and it seems very experience based.
Yeah.
Like, especially
100%.
lyrically as well. If we focus on not the first track, because that was your first single that we've kind of talked about already, but your second track, Scared of Myself. What's the backstory to that track?
So just like a lot of the albums is kind of the fear of the future, and Scared of Myself was basically the only thing stopping me from achieving what I want to achieve, being selling out stadiums around the world, selling out Wembley, inspiring people with my music and inspiring people that you can do anything by working hard. The only thing stopping me from doing that is me. And Scared of Myself is basically that. I can't be afraid to do it because everybody else will just talk, all the negative about me. But the only thing stopping me is me, not them.
I could definitely hear that theme, especially in the other track I wrote down, what will my tears look like in the future as well.
Yeah.
You have kind of that confrontation with fear.
Yeah.
And kind of how you're going to approach it. But I think it's a really like refreshing attitude to have for someone so young.
Yeah.
To be self-aware that, fear, it says it in June, but fear is the mind killer.
Yeah.
And to like confront that fear is going to be a really important part of it.
Yeah, well, my dad has brought me up like that with just a hardworking mentality that the only thing stopping me is me, especially with the industry I'm going into. There's gonna, well, hopefully there's gonna be, hopefully and kind of not hopefully, there's gonna be a lot of people talking about me either positively or negatively, and I just got to drown that all out and just work hard myself. And confronting fear is the only way to do that. Telling fear, what's up? It's me. I'm the one that's going to control this, and I'm the one that's going to control my brain as well.
Absolutely. I love that attitude. And then if we come on to like the next track, actually, this was the track I kept going back to in
Yeah.
terms of probably the one I liked the most, Fake Smile.
Yeah.
What I liked most about it is kind of the breakdown at the end,
Yeah.
where it just kind of breaks down to like you and the bass guitar as well. And
Yeah.
I think I want you to show me that the chord progression later on,
Yeah.
and maybe we can play together because I really love this track. What's the kind of theme running through this track?
Fake Smile is probably the only track on the album about a girl. I was unsure about whether I was going to add it or not because obviously the theme of the album was confronting fear and the fear of the future and getting over that fear. But Fake Smile was one of the first songs I wrote, and it's basically just about a girl and a relationship that never happened. And looking in hindsight, if that relationship did happen, I'm not sure if a lot of the things that I've achieved in this past 2 years would have happened. But yeah, Fake Smile is probably the only song about a girl. And yeah.
All right. I think, and then you chose Waiting for your next single.
Yeah.
What was the, 'cause that's a little bit different to your first two.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of think it's nice to have singles that differ from each other and show different sides to you.
Yeah.
So, what was kind of the idea of choosing Waiting to be your next single?
So it's a bit of a boring backstory, but Waiting was the first song I ever uploaded on Spotify because the company that I upload all my songs through needed, I don't know, it's weird, but it needed a song, proof that I write songs to be able to upload. I don't need to write a breakup song just to be successful. So I just uploaded a song I made back in year 9, just a random one I made for like a school project onto it. And I think that that song is probably one of my worst songs. It's just about nothing. And since then, I've kind of written about stuff that meant a lot to me. But Waiting Volume 2 on the album was just kind of an updated version of that year 9 version of that song because I sounded very high pitched, sounded like a girl, and people were requesting a updated version. So I just thought I'd chuck it in.
That's interesting in terms of like it's an old song that you've brought back and reworked. I think that kind of proves the point of like good songs stand this like test of time,
Yeah.
and good ideas stand the test of time as well.
Yeah.
Because I think as a musician you'll start to realize like you'll write so many songs, and some will just be forgotten about,
Yeah.
but there might be some kind of treasure there, or there might be some great ideas that you can rework in the future as well. So yeah, that's an interesting story
Yeah.
because that was a little bit of a different track, and you can maybe I can tell the time difference in
Mm.
when you were writing and how your writing's kind of matured
Yeah.
as you reach the end of this album as well. Um, the other tracks like Just a Kid and Allergies have that really coming of age kind of storytelling
Yeah.
as well. Is that kind of something you approach in your songwriting in particular? Like it's stories, is it stories about you? Or is it also stories about what you see and friends' experiences?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't thought about it like that, but I suppose it kind of is. It's a bit of both. I'm writing from my experiences and my hopes and dreams for the future, but I'm also kind of writing about what I'm seeing from my friends and everybody else. Just a Kid and Allergies, they're probably some of my favorite songs on the track, and it shows through the album kind of my progression of songwriting. The first couple songs, besides from I Don't Need to Write a Breakup Song, are kind of tame and kind of more, I'd say, acoustic songwriting style, whereas gets to the end, it gets a bit more upbeat, it gets a bit more properly produced. But yeah, throughout the album, that's what I tried to tell. The first bit was me, the fear of myself, the fear of the future, and then once it gets to about what will my tears look like in the future, it kind of goes about me overcoming that fear and me saying, nah, I got this.
I can see that. And I think that is like an on-running theme throughout the album. And you touch on things in terms of really like positive aspects, also the struggles
Mm.
of kind of growing up with this in this kind of day and age. And I know I'm at the risk of sounding very old myself now when I ask like this next question, but growing up as like your 17-year-old now, you won't know what it was like obviously 17 years ago when I was your age.
Mm.
But what I'm interested is in on kind of like a day-to-day basis, because you have the influence of the phones and new technologies. Do you think it is kind of holding back young people from being creative and expressing themselves in kind of different forms of medium because they have different hobbies like or distractions as a phone as well?
Yeah. Yeah, to answer shortly, 100% do think that. I think just posting anything online, there's always a back thought in anybody's mind is that, what will people think of this? And I guess that's part of the reason why people do post stuff is because they need or they want reactions. They want people to like it. They want people to engage with it. But in terms of your distractions question as well, I think that personally has affected me a lot. With the goals I want to achieve, I always find myself, I've got this huge goal obviously, and that's only going to come through hard work. But I find myself, as a lot of other people do, just on reels at like 10 p.m. and then I'm like, after an hour going through, I'm like, what the hell am I doing right now? I said I've got this huge goal. The only way I'm going to do that is by hard working, and I think I'm definitely not going to be the only person in this world that's like that, with these huge dreams and just being distracted by the phone. And even in terms of what other people think when posting um content, is what will people think of this? Now that I just recently turned 18, by the way.
Yeah.
And now that I've turned 18, is this kind of this that's kind of what my future songs are about as well, is now there's this ongoing pressure that I need to grow up. And part of my future songs are about, well, do I need to grow up? But the content that I'm posting is kind of goofy, it's kind of silly, but it's the way that engages and it's the way that some of my songs have done so well. But there's always a back thought in my mind, like, am I too old to be doing this? What will people think of me doing this? Is this going to negatively affect what I want to do in the future? So there's always a back thought, especially with social media and people sharing stuff behind your back, people commenting behind your back, people even commenting in front of you, people commenting on the post. It's a bit of a mix. But as I was saying earlier, all these other people, I think I'm quite well trained already in just drowning all that noise out. And all engagement is good engagement, to be honest. And hopefully as it progresses in the future, I maintain that, just being able to drown it out.
Yeah, I think you've like touched on some really important points there. First of all, like being self-aware, and even to post music is similar to content in a way. You have to be quite brave,
Yeah.
especially at a younger age. You have to be quite brave because you're certainly still figuring out who you are.
Mm.
And same with the music, you're still figuring out what music you want to make or what sound you want to curate. But if you give in to the fear and never post anything,
Yeah.
it'll be extremely hard to improve
Yeah.
or kind of develop as a musician, as an artist, as a person. I find that topic of kind of the growing up and now the influence with new technology really interesting from my teaching days, and one that I've suffered myself as well. Like
Mm.
I used to play guitar every day.
Yeah.
It'd be the thing I did to unwind or, but while I'm watching television. But now having technology around me,
Yeah.
I'm losing it. And it's
Yeah.
something that I really want to kind of find a balance again and try and just include into my daily routine
Yeah.
more, because it used to be such a joyful thing,
Mm.
and just used it's underrated how creative and kind of good for you it can be just to unwind with a guitar
Yeah.
basically.
Well, my favorite feeling is, as you mentioned, just playing guitar whilst watching television, just kind of like not really focusing on either, but like both is happening at the same time. And then you're just messing around with chords, you're messing around with melodies in your head. My favorite moment is when you find a melody, find something sick, have to pause the TV and like, oh, hold on a second. I think I'm going somewhere with this. But as you touch upon as well, like songwriting, posting your songs, especially at such a young age, um, and going through like all these different changes socially and everything, I found that quite tough. When I posted my first couple songs, I was really, really afraid that, not what people would think about the quality or anything like that, but I was just scared people were going to be like, oh, this guy's songwriting, is he okay? I am fine. I am perfectly okay. But I just find songwriting a great escape to write about anything that I'm feeling. And I find that if I am going through a problem, songwriting is the best way to get out of it. And but that was something that I did definitely struggle with. How are people gonna think about the album? How are people gonna think about me through the album? But once again, it's just something that I've been fortunate enough to mature with and get over that, and just hopefully continue writing songs in the future and posting them.
Definitely. And I think you're a really good example to anyone thinking of kind of it's never too early, never too late to kind of release, make music, be brave, and kind of what I've noticed about you as well is that you really engage with that kind of that community.
Mm.
Initially in DB, but now, further afield in Hong Kong and probably around the world because you releasing the music can be listened to by anyone. And when we saw your first single kind of take off with like, thousands, 10,000 streams on Spotify, I mean, it's great to see because that will all be your close network.
Yeah.
That'll be people you've never met. And it proves the point if you release the music, then it's going to, touch a lot of people, or it has the potential to as well.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of your next album is out, and because music is quite slow sometimes, like we spoke and you were recording your album last time, you must in your head already be thinking about what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
Or have maybe even some tracks prepared for the next part. So Phoenix, what is next?
I'd say even throughout when properly recording and producing the album, I was making the next couple of albums. So I've got so many locked in and all ready to go, just waiting for them to be produced. But I'd say this album that I've just posted now, that was probably the first, those 10 songs, those were probably the 10 songs that I ever wrote first. So the quality isn't nowhere near as good as it is now. So I'd say for the future, just in terms of my songs, the quality is only just going to go up. The songwriting is only just going to go up. The catchiness, all of that, everything that makes a great song is just going to go up. But in terms of what's next, just waiting for the next song to be produced, maybe wait a little bit for this album to fully soak in, maybe release a couple singles, and just hopefully something takes off in the next year or so. Otherwise, not sure what I'm going to do in 2027, but 2026 is the year where I've got no excuse to not take off.
It's going too quick for me, can you deal with that? Been here way too silently, need to quit all of that. Whilst time keeps moving on, I keep going back. It's all tick and tack, I don't want all of that. 'Cause I don't know if it's better than this. Suppose that we were just kids all along, but now we're not.